Hi ladies, I hope you're having a wonderful day. I'm sorry this video is a little bit late. Mrs. King and I were out making several visits today. We took about 21 cupcakes and to some ladies in our church just to deliver them, to be a blessing, to say hi, let them know that we miss them and we're praying for them. Today our verse comes from chapter 7 of Proverbs, and it is verse number 21. With her much fair speech, she caused him to yield. With the flattering of her lips, she forced him. Now, this chapter is kind of infamous for the strange woman and the harlot woman. And once again, we're going to take a look at this example here, this negative example of what we should not do. And sometimes we can learn just as much from a negative example as we can from a positive example. But today here, we're talking about our speech. This woman has gotten this young man into her house through much fair speech and through the flattering of her lips. As women, we tend to have a special, unique ability to get what we want through our speech. Our tone of voice, we know how to use the right words to say what we, to communicate in a way to get what we want. Maybe it is with your husband, maybe it's with your children, whether they're younger or maybe they're older, and trying to influence them in a choice of college or maybe a career path, or your husband, sometimes you're trying to convince him of things that you want done around the house. Whatever it might be, we have ways of getting what we want, and we need to be careful with our speech. Are we using our speech so that we're getting what we want, or to influencing others so that they'll do what we want them to do and we can have our way? Or are we using our speech to give glory and honor to God, to edify others, to minister grace? How are we using our speech? So for today, in the comments, I would like you to post done if you've read Proverbs chapter 7. I hope you're keeping up with this in the Proverbs reading. But also maybe comment your favorite verse about the tongue. The Bible has a lot to say about our speech. I know anytime I think of Bible verses about speech, my mind always goes to James chapter 3. I had to memorize it when I was in school, the entire chapter, and all those verses, the tongue is a little member, the tongue is a fire, and the dangers of the tongue. We need to be very careful with our speech. Are we using fair speech, flattering speech to get what we want, or are we truly using our speech to give grace to others? And that's also our prayer request today, is that we would think before we speak. How are we using our speech? Sometimes it's not so much what we say, but how we say it. How are we using our speech? Are we giving honor and glory to God? Thank you, ladies, and we'll see you tomorrow.